Young people today are facing financial challenges that many previous generations didn't experience at the same level. From rising living costs and student debt to unstable job markets and expensive housing, building financial stability has become much harder. While technology and opportunities have grown, so have the pressures on young adults trying to start their careers and plan their futures. In this discussion, we'll explore why young people are struggling more financially than any generation before and what factors are driving this growing problem. Today, we will talk about why young people are struggling more financially than any generation. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Introduction. A generation facing unprecedented financial pressure. In recent decades, young people, particularly millennials and Generation Z, have been experiencing financial struggles that are significantly greater than those faced by previous generations. While earlier generations were often able to achieve financial independence relatively early in life, today's youth face rising costs, unstable job markets, and growing debt. Economic milestones such as buying a home, starting a family, or building savings are becoming increasingly difficult to achieve. Many young adults report feeling financially insecure despite being educated and employed. Research shows that more than half of Gen Z adults believe they do not earn enough to live the life they want, largely because of increasing everyday expenses and insufficient income growth. This financial pressure is not simply the result of poor financial planning. Rather, it is the outcome of structural economic changes that have reshaped the modern economy. As a result, the financial reality facing young people today is dramatically different from the one their parents or grandparents experienced. 2. Rising cost of living. One of the most significant reasons young people struggle financially is the dramatic increase in the cost of living. Over the past few decades, the prices of basic necessities such as housing, food, transportation, healthcare, and education have increased at a much faster rate than wages. Young adults today spend a larger portion of their income on essential living expenses than previous generations did. For instance, food prices have increased significantly in recent years, with some reports noting increases of more than 20% between 2019 and 2024 alone. In many places, groceries, utilities, and transportation now consume a substantial share of monthly income. This leaves little room for savings, investment, or discretionary spending. Surveys also reveal that about half of Gen Z considers the high cost of living the biggest barrier to financial success. Unlike earlier generations who could save money more easily, young people today often struggle just to cover basic expenses. Consequently, the rising cost of everyday life has created a financial environment where many young adults feel they are constantly trying to keep up with expenses rather than getting ahead financially. 3. The housing affordability crisis. Housing has become one of the largest financial challenges for young people. In many countries, the cost of renting or buying a home has increased dramatically, making it difficult for young adults to live independently. Rent often consumes a large portion of a young person's income, sometimes exceeding half of their monthly salary. As a result, many young adults are forced to delay moving out of their parents' homes or rely on shared housing with roommates. Data also shows that more than half of people aged 18 to 24 live with their parents, a higher percentage than previous generations at the same age. In addition, rising home prices and high mortgage rates have pushed homeownership further out of reach for many. Recent reports highlight that a shortage of millions of housing units and the rising income required to afford a starter home have significantly reduced the ability of younger generations to enter the housing market. This housing crisis prevents young people from building wealth through property ownership, which has historically been one of the main ways families accumulate long-term financial security. 4. Growing student debt and education costs. Another major factor contributing to financial hardship among young people is the increasing cost of higher education. University tuition and related educational expenses have risen dramatically over the past 2 decades. As a result, Many students graduate with significant student loan debt before even entering the workforce. Some reports indicate that student debt balances have increased by more than 200% over the past 20 years. Starting adulthood with debt places young graduates at a financial disadvantage compared with previous generations, who often faced lower tuition costs or received more financial support. Loan repayments reduce the amount of disposable income available for other expenses such as housing, transportation, or savings. This debt burden can delay important life milestones such as buying a home, getting married, or starting a business. In many cases, young adults must spend years or even decades paying off student loans, which significantly slows their ability to build wealth and achieve financial stability. 5. Stagnant wages and job market challenges. While the cost of living has increased rapidly, wages for young workers have not kept pace with inflation. Many young people enter the workforce in entry-level positions that offer relatively low pay, making it difficult to cover rising expenses. In addition, economic changes such as automation, globalization, and the growth of the gig economy have created a job market that is less stable than it was for previous generations. Some studies also show that young workers often earn less than their parents did at the same age when adjusted for inflation. Youth unemployment rates in some regions remain extremely high, further limiting financial opportunities for younger generations. Even those who find employment may face temporary contracts, freelance work, or gig jobs that lack benefits such as health insurance, retirement plans, or job security. As a result, many young adults experience financial uncertainty and difficulty planning for the future. 6. Economic crisis and global events. Young people today have grown up during a series of major economic disruptions that have significantly affected their financial stability. The global financial crisis of 2008, the COVID-19 pandemic, and periods of high inflation have all created economic uncertainty. These events disrupted job markets, reduced employment opportunities, and increased financial instability. Studies show that economic crises often affect young workers more severely than older workers because they have less job experience and fewer financial resources to rely on. For many young adults, these crises occurred during crucial stages of education or early career development. As a result, they entered the workforce during periods of recession or economic slowdown, which limited their earning potential and career growth. This bad timing has had long-lasting effects on financial security, making it harder for younger generations to catch up economically. 7. Social pressures and lifestyle expectations. In addition to structural economic challenges, social and cultural pressures also contribute to financial stress among young people. Social media platforms often create unrealistic expectations about lifestyle, success, and consumption. Many young adults feel pressure to spend money on travel, technology, fashion, and entertainment in order to keep up with peers or online influencers. At the same time, society expects young people to achieve traditional milestones such as higher education, career success, and financial independence at a relatively early age. However, the economic system no longer supports these expectations as easily as it once did. This mismatch between expectations and economic reality can create feelings of frustration, anxiety, and financial stress. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.